The Knights of Ren podcast is brought to you by Cool Stuff Inc., your source for Star Wars Destiny singles, sealed product, and more. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.
Show me again the power of the darkness.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll. D20radio.com.
What was that? They're coming out of nowhere. Enemy fighter coming your way.
All wings, fall back.
3 Mars coming in at 0.04. It's a trap.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Knights of Ren, episode 604. This week, we are trading out Nick for Rick, so we've got Rick and Todd. How are you guys doing?
It's a good trade. 10 out of 10. Would do it again.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a okay trade.
Just okay?
Yeah.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Like, we're not gonna make the playoffs with you.
Oh, no, but, you know, you'll sell some jerseys.
You might. Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right. Well, we have had a very, very interesting week. The Euros just happened. We got some spoilers. You guys had a super busted tournament at TAG. And, you know, there's just a lot of speculation on when we're going to be getting more Way of the Force information. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about these spoilers. I'm really excited because, you know, Red Hero is kind of a joke right now in the current meta. They just don't have anything good. And I think Rex could be at least a stepping point for Red Hero to get competitive. So let's talk about Rex, the clone captain. He's a legendary. He comes in at 11 points, 14 points for elite, 11 health. His die faces are 1 ranged, 2 indirect damage, 1 focus, 1 resource blank, and his effect is before you activate this character, you may spend 1 resource or spot a clone trooper to take control of the battlefield. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like him. He's a cheap, good health, good die character. The main issue with him is Red Hero is not great, but there's a lot of cards that are very good when you control the battlefield or only playable when you have the control of the battlefield, and it's not very hard to always have it with Rex. I mean, even if you don't have a living clone trooper, still being able to have the option to pay 1 to gain the battlefield if you need it for whatever you have in your hand is, I think, is definitely worth it. And obviously, if you do have a clone trooper, you just gain control no matter what. Like, there's really no reason not to have the battlefield. And, you know, his point cost, being able to basically fit with 2 clone troopers if you want to go the mono Red Hero route. And their die are very similar, which I think is a good little like flavor win by FFG there to have clones be the same, you know. Like it is the same die, except, you know, the captain has a focus, so instead of an extra blank, so I'm a little bit better than you, but I'm still you.
Yeah, he's learned some tricks, right?
Yeah, there's a reason why he's a captain.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's really good. He's got 3 damage sides and that focus, so, I mean, you might as well say effectively 4 damage sides. Really, he can correct some dice into it. I like him. He's 11 health, too, for 11 points if you want to run him as a 1 die character, which is nice. He's pretty tanky, and that it does open you up to some things when you look at, like, hopefully they'll have some cards that come out in this set that will benefit heroes, kind of like what the villains have had for a long time, like the best defense and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get a hero variation of it to give this a little bit more legs as well.
Yeah, I think Rex is really good. My first thing, like when I saw him immediately, was like, he's going to be a monster in draft. The 11 for 11 is fantastic, and his die face is really good. In constructed, I'm more interested to see what else comes out, just because right now, and a lot of people brought this up on Facebook, Discord, just even in our channel, he's fighting for the same space as Ayla. And the problem is, 1, Ayla is cheaper for 2 dice, and Ayla has partners with, you know, Rey. Like, it's kind of a twofold thing. Like, Ayla has partners she can work with, and she has, you know, weapons that benefit her astronomically with Ancient Lightsaber, Heirloom Lightsaber, Shoto Lightsaber, And the red hero guns are like the DH-17 blaster. So potentially we'll see some more guns in the set that will help kind of push that damage into competitive levels, because right now, if Rex just comes out alone as is, I don't know if he's going to push hero range damage past hero melee damage. But I really like his design and I like where they're going. Do you guys think there's any partners that we are aware of that would go well with Rex? I mean, like Ezra is kind of a go-to because he's cheap, he's got guns, he can steal people's money. He's kind of a utility piece though. He's not like a killer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be I don't think he's gonna be the anchor for any team. Like I don't. He's gonna be in a really awkward space for constructed. And again, we look at these things in a vacuum. We've got like 18 cards out of 160 that we're trying to gauge how good this guy's gonna be with. So I mean, based on what we have right now, like I don't think he looks that amazing and constructed. He looks fun and constructed.
Oh yeah,
but he doesn't look amazing. So I mean, until we see the rest of what's going to be coming out there, it's hard to really say what his place is going to be. I think he's definitely playable, and I agree. I think he's going to be really good in draft.
Oh yeah, draft he's going to be so good and limited.
So, but yeah, once we see the rest of this stuff, like I mean, there's cards that this guy could be the basis for a new SEAL team deck, right? Like the fortuitous strike and that kind of fun shenanigans. Like it will never at its purest form right now. It'll never be like super competitive, but it would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why do you say he fights for the same spot as Ayla right now?
Well, you're looking at two characters that have 1, 2, 2. Ayla is 12. She's 9-12 for 10 health. He's 11-14 for 11 health. So you're looking for two characters that can hold their own. So when you have Ray 2 and Ayla, if one goes down, the other can sustain themselves. Rex at 14 elite with 2 DH-17s is no joke. You could throw a holdout blaster and a DH-17 on him. He can output significant damage. You can also keep the battlefield on your side, so that keeps things like dug in online, or, if you need the battlefield for any kind of effect. Like, there's a lot of things Rex can do for ranged decks. He just doesn't really have a partner. He's in the right point cost and the right health, and his effect is really good.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing he keeps online is defensive position.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because defensive position is one of those cards that it can be a turn ender, and the ability to make sure you have that online every turn is pretty huge.
Like they're kind of doing, I don't know, they're doing pretty much the same thing. That if you just change that focus to a special. Now, granted, Ayla's special is way better than a focus is, which just goes to show how busted Ayla is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is a legendary character that costs more for 1 extra health and arguably a worse die, with a tacked on ability that will, while it lets you get the battlefield, it'll never let you, in very edge cases, besides that, will let you keep the battlefield going into the turn after your opponent claims, if that's any relevance at all. But this just makes other cards more consistent. And I just, it just doesn't seem right to me on that. Like, you can't really compare those two. And Blue Hero is just way better than Hero Red. Like, it's no question. There's just so many other good stuff in Blue altogether, including the neutrals, that I don't think is really a comparison. I think, if you're looking for a cheap, good character with 1/2/2 and die correction, you go with Ayla. But if you're looking for something that's going to trigger off of his ability, you're definitely taking Rex, just for the fact to make your defensive positions and dug ins just infinitely more consistent.
Yeah,
he's 10 times better. Like, you don't have to play fast anymore to play those cards.
Yeah.
Like, they're only in decks where you're expecting to claim every turn.
Yeah.
And this effectively kind of shuts down those cards on your opponent's side too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, a Rex on Rex mirror is going to be who...
That'd be interesting.
Who wants to...
It's going to be who activates Rex second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you may want to play Rex with, I don't know, like something to make them activate characters.
Well, I mean, you could bring a yellow character.
Rebel Trader.
Yeah, Rebel Trader. That's a thing.
Yeah.
In draft, that works.
In draft.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Rex and 2 Rebel Traders in draft.
Hooray!
There you go.
You could play Lure.
Yeah, there's where Ezra comes in. All right, we're building a deck.
Yeah.
Just
no,
Lure
but I mean, like, You can't really compare him to Ayla. Like, Ayla is just busted, and at some point probably should make her way onto the Balance of the Force list, whether she does or not.
She's really good with Poe 1.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, foreshadowing. I have a good feeling about this.
But no, I think they're just two different decks. I think this is a very interesting character. And, I mean, it's like, if there's anything else that is Battlefield Matters in this set, he just continues to go up in value. You don't have to play him with clones. That's very good that they spend that one resource on there. But I think you're generally going to play him with at least one clone trooper.
So is there, well, here's a good question. Do we have a solid 16-point range damage character?
Like an elite?
Like, not particular. Well, out of color, not really. I mean, we could do like Luke Skywalker 2. He's 11-14. He's got 1 range, 2 range, 1 melee, and then, his power action, you can spend $2 to increase the value by 2.
I mean, the only one I can really think of is Poe, the 2-player Poe,
right?
At like 15 points.
In
but
red,
I mean, that's in color.
Mono, that's easy. But out of color, like, you have Ezra and you have Luke. I mean, you could take 1 Sabine. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. So not realistically, not right now. No, you're not looking at a strong 4-die team with someone out of color. If you did mono red, you could do like Poe 2 or someone else easily. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, he seems in a really limited spot, which is, I mean, that's kind of the rub with him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, until we see
Chewbacca.
We got Chewbacca. That's about it.
Finn 1?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, you got Finn.
Oh, well, there's Finn.
Make Finn great again.
Hired gun.
Yeah, I'd rather have a trooper at that point, clone trooper.
I mean that's Lando.
Yeah, no, there's not much there.
I probably shouldn't laugh that hard.
There's Leia. Leia's 16 points, 3 damage sides, and a focus.
That's mono. Like, mono red's easy. There's a lot of mono red characters that can help fit that bill.
Yeah, I mean,
but you really want out of color, so you can get access to extra guns and combat tricks.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot for him right now.
You really want that X8.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the rub. Like, there's really not that much for him right now.
You can go Saw.
Yeah, that's not good.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Wedge.
Oh, you can go Zeb, right? Isn't Zeb 16? No, he's 17.
No, he's a little bit just out of there. He's 13, 17.
So, once again, Ayla's busted.
Yeah.
This proves it.
Well, that was another thing I wanted to talk about, because it is interesting that you have a legendary that's more expensive with a overall weaker die, and Ayla just sits there going, ha, she's in the right color, she has the right points, she has the right dice, she has great teammates and options to insane monocolor weapons and utility and removal. And then Rex shows up. It's like, man, Rex is really good, but he's just outclassed in color, in points, and with his dice.
I mean, it all kind of still boils down to, on the nameless, or well, not nameless, but dialogue-less characters in the Star Wars universe get, the better abilities. Like, they want to put something on a character. Who are they going to put on? It doesn't really make sense for this guy because he never did anything like that.
Baltique. So
let's make a Baltique and give him a busted ability and make him not cost a lot because nobody knows who he is, and that's how you get Unkar.
Way to bring that into the mix for some odd reason. Are you trying to bait me into talking about this guy, Unkar?
No, there's plenty to talk about Unkar after we're done with spoilers here.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm so excited. Good old Unkar. All right, let's move along. We're going to look at the Bendu's Lair. Now, this is the very unique battlefield that was hinted at by Jeremy when we talked to him about battlefields doing something a little bit different and maybe having a die. So the Bendu's Lair has a die and a power action. So the die face is 1 ranged, 2 indirect, 1 focus, 2 shields, 1 resource, a blank, and has a power action. Roll this die into your pool. Awesome. And then on the bottom is a, I guess, static effect is what you would call it in Magic terms. After you take control of this battlefield, remove its die. What do you think about this rare battlefield?
I mean, we kind of talked about this since the beginning of Destiny, of will they ever make a battlefield that has a die associated with it? And here we go. And it's a good die. Like it's,
it's a great die.
I mean, it's Rex with a shield instead of a 2 range. It's kind of weird, but Yeah, I mean, it's just good. And it, like, I guess you kind of had to wait till the power action effect came in to be able to do this, because we always kind of like never really made sense. You can't really activate a battlefield, you know, and like you claim it and roll a die in and maybe immediately resolve it. That was something we were talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's a good die. It's a very it's going to be one of those battlefields that you see a lot of, I think, especially in fast decks. Funnily enough, it doesn't really fit with Rex because if they claim their first action, if you have Rex, is always going to be to roll this die into play. So unless you're a fast Rex, then you're not really utilizing Rex, but you know, so you just don't play this in Rex.
Yeah, I actually was really excited when I first saw this, and then the more I look at it, the less likely I think it's going to be played, unless it's played in draft. I feel like I don't know. I don't see this being played as much as some of the other stuff. I feel like some of the other battlefield abilities are more key to deck strategies than having this extra die in your pool.
Yeah, even then, I don't even know if it's a snap pick in draft.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like in draft, like, you're going to win some games with this and you're going to lose some games because of this.
Well, I mean, just the fact that you're wasting a pick that somebody can completely take out of commission by winning the die roll.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you snap pick this. Like,
yeah.
This is probably like a third pick, maybe, if there's no other good uncommons or commons in the pack.
Yeah. I mean, but that's more where I see it fitting in. I mean, I think it's super cool and I can't wait to see where they go with this. I think it'll see some play initially, but I think it'll quickly be replaced.
I mean, it is a good die, though.
It is. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think, I don't know. I guess it really depends on how much we think Rex is going to be played, really, right? Like,
probably
again,
not that much. Not to the point of nullifying this card.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really nullify this card, though.
No, but I mean, you can...
Well,
I mean,
I guess, yeah, you roll it in, they take the battlefield, the die goes away. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and to make things more interesting, so in the rules, power action state, power action is an action that can only be used once per round,
right,
even if the card with a power action changes control.
Right.
So if your opponent rolls out the die, and then you go, cool, activate Rex, take the Bendu's layer, you can't power action the die back out again.
Yeah, which is the part of the reason why that limitation on the card makes me think that it's not going to be played as frequently as it initially looks to be.
Well, it, at the very least, prevents your opponent from putting stuff on Rex, right?
For an action, yes.
For an action, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I claimed the battlefield. I claimed Bendu's lair. My first action, roll this out. Now you either, if it rolls like a, I don't know, 2 indirect, I guess is the most effective thing at that point. You then have to choose whether you want to remove that die by activating Rex or putting something on Rex.
Or you play quick draw or a holdout blaster and then claim, like, take it.
Oh, sure, but I don't think you're playing those.
I know. These are all fringe cases.
Well, you're probably playing holdout blaster with Rex. Like, I mean, it's probably one of the best range weapons in the game. So
I'm going to hasty exit while I control with the die in the pool to remove it.
Yeah, just to remove your own die.
Yeah.
Screw this die.
I don't need it.
I brought it.
Here's another question. Nice. I saw this in some conversation. I actually don't exactly know how to process it because I don't know if I'm for or against it, but someone was complaining like now the rare slots are getting eaten up by battlefields. So
whatever.
I'm saying it is something to consider. Like it's not going to be 100% character or upgrade. Now you have, potentially a battlefield that you're like, oh, great. Do you think that's a issue at all?
The rare slot is getting eaten up by a card that can go in literally any deck,
right?
Ever?
Yeah,
sure. Like
okay.
Like no, I don't.
I'm more mad when my uncommon slot gets eaten up by a site.
Yeah.
So,
what? When does that happen?
All the time.
Yeah.
There's got plenty of uncommon battlefields.
Oh! I see what you're saying. I thought you said something else. I misheard you.
Nope.
Never
that's
mind.
What I was saying.
Like I feel like battlefields should always be common. Unless they have a die associated with it, because there's no other way to do it.
Right.
Like, there is no reason why a battlefield should be uncommon. Unless it's completely busted in draft. That's about the only time I could see that being a thing.
Throne Room is the only one that should be uncommon.
Yeah.
So good.
No, but because that's not really that busted in draft either. So.
No. It is interesting. We're not seeing a lot of Throne Room anymore, and everyone was pretty afraid of it. And now...
Because now there's so many other things that Hero can do to just make their dice specials.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very true.
Oh, and now specials come on like half of your die sides. So,
well, I mean, is it a power creep thing? Like, is the game just creeping, forward and forward and forward, kind of invalidating older cards and older archetypes?
I can say that I think it's the game is in a very healthy pace after this past weekend.
Well, yeah. Well, that was kind of what I'm alluding to, because we're going to talk about your broken tournament. But you literally saw the most insane things that could possibly happen since you just removed all restrictions. And I wanted that opinion because I feel like you're going to have a pretty unique perspective.
I think that if before rotation happens, if you see villains that have character pairings that have multiple special sides, like good specials, like if you could have like, you know, Vader and Phasma together again for whatever reason, then you will see Emperor's Throne Room come back. So at Heroes, they can just, you know, they just special chain. So there's no reason for it. Like villains would be the only people that would need to run Throne Room because they don't have any special chaining. And there's just not a good character pairing where you would always want to hit the special side anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think the place you see the throne room the most now is going to definitely be a villain side deck.
And I think consistency has gone up a lot too.
Yes.
So back when Throne Room was running everywhere, it was kind of harder to hit those special sides when you want to hit them every turn. So that's when people would run Throne Room, and then people would get scared of Throne Room, and then people wouldn't give you Throne Room, and you were just really playing Throne Room to get 2 shields. Now you got a plot that'll give you 1.
And to speak to that, like when we get into the that tournament over the weekend, like that was definitely one of the things I took into consideration when I built what I built, was consistency over like just opportunity, because Po Maz was exactly that back in the day. Po Maz had one special side on Maz that you were hoping to hit on the what's that?
You said on Maz, but
yeah,
it's on Po.
The focus side is on Maz.
You said special though.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right. Edit all that. So the thing that we saw with Po Maz was that Maz had one focus side that you were looking to hit on that 1 in 6 die roll when you rolled her in. Otherwise, you were waiting to resolve with a reroll or using the battlefield. So the consistency on these die with cards like Yoda and Ayla, for that matter, she's still a 1 in 6, but Yoda himself is a 1 in 3, are much more consistent. So you don't need the battlefield to do it anymore.
That's fair. That's very fair. Let's take a look at the last card, and this was the most interesting one for me personally. And, you know, people were doing all kinds of math about it. So this is long-term plan. This is a red hero plot. It costs 3 points, which is pretty significant. And the card action states, exhaust this plot to place 1 resource on it, or to resolve 1 of your dice, increasing its value by the number of resources on this plot. And to clarify, you are not placing a resource you own. You're just taking a resource from the bank and putting it on the plot. This makes things really interesting, but like I said, people have been doing math and trying to figure out where the value is, because do you really want to, you know, turn 1, exhaust it, put a resource on, and then turn 2, you just get a +1? Do you, exhaust it twice, and then by turn 3, you're getting a +2? Where's that threshold of it's valuable for the 3 points versus I wasted an action and I didn't really get any value out of those 3 points?
So this is kind of an expensive plot, and the action loss of increasing the or putting the resource on there to increase value on die sides on future turns is kind of real. Like, you are slowing down a lot by doing this. There's already a lot of cards that you can play to increase the value of a die that see no play outside of draft. Like, I don't think the 3 points is worth it, especially on something that is as restrictive as a red hero plot for 3 points. Like, there are very few decks where this, well, not very few, but like, that you're going to spend the 3 points and still be able to play this in hero red. Like, it just doesn't seem worth it to me at all. Now, granted, if you're playing a long game, you can definitely get a lot of use out of this. But is it worth that extra 3 points? That 3 points, with the exception of busted characters like Ayala, is supposed to represent losing a die, right? And you're increasing the value on a die on future turns. So this really doesn't even take into effect until turn 2. And then at that point, you're only increasing it by 1. And that also means that you're only resolving that 1 die. So you're not resolving anything else on top of it. No modified sides, no big chunks of damage, no nothing, right? Like, it doesn't hit specials. Like it's a lot of restriction to this plot. And I think it kind of has to be that way, because if it was a lot cheaper, it would probably be busted. And if it was usable in anything, it would probably definitely be busted at that point. Somebody would break this. But
I think it already is.
Well, what do you think about it?
I think super good in mill. I think mill decks are going to love this.
Is it worth losing 3 points?
Well, let's see. Hey, Suggy, you're the resident mill player. What's the Riken, Yoda, and Partisan? How many points are left over in that?
I don't like that deck, but Yoda is 13. Partisan is, I think.
Well, it was 1, 1, and 1, so it was one dice.
Oh, that's right. I really don't like that deck. So it's 8, 10, 12, I think is Riken. Yeah, Riken's 12. So it's 30.
Yeah. And then the Riken Yoda is only 2 points left over.
Yeah, because it's 15, 13.
Okay, well, if it would fit in the middle deck, they'd love it.
Yeah. You're gonna need some more stuff coming out of this set that goes to mill. Still being able to play red.
Yeah, that's the problem. I looked at that. I was like, well, you could do 1 Jar Jar and Yoda and nope. Rose is 8.
Well, that 5-die mill you were having, if you drop 1 die off Jar Jar, you can put it in that.
No, I just said you can't because it's 13.
Drop 1 die.
Rose is 8. Well, hold on. I'm probably doing my math wrong here. All right, so Rose is 8. Jar Jar is 7. So
Jar Jar's not 9, right? For 2
he's
die?
9
for 2.
Yeah, and then Yoda's 13, and then Rose is 8. So you're at 30 exactly. But the problem is if you drop off 1 Jar Jar die, it's only 2 points. Jar Jar's not a 6/9. He would be insane at 6 points.
Well, then this card, it's no good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, right? Like at 3 points, it's not worth it. Like you have to be doing broken stuff from the start of the game, like profitable connections to start you off at 3 resources in order to really run it. Like like if you're running a long-term plan, right? Like, yeah, it can get busted, but every other turn.
Yeah, no,
it's not even every other turn. It's it's first turn you put 1 on it. Second turn you say resolve it for 1 extra. Then third turn you put 2 on it. Like games don't last that long. Like even long mill games don't last more than 5 turns. 6 turns?
You should be winning it like turn 5,
or at least to the point where you're going to win on turn 5. And does this really even do anything for you? Yeah, starting at turn 3. Maybe increasing dice by 2 every turn, maybe. Like that's probably your best bet. But then what are you getting? Shields?
Resources?
Maybe some resources?
I mean, discard. Discard's real.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what we just went over, though. There's nowhere it fits in the current scheme.
Oh yeah, in the
right?
current scheme, I cried because I looked at this and I go, "Sweet, where can I fit it?" No, I can't.
So you're gonna give up a die because that's what 3-point plots are supposed to do outside of Ayla, and to increase at some point in the game increase a discard side by 2.
You could drop a Yoda. I'm not gonna do it, but you could do Yoda going to 1, so you have 2 Jar Jar, 1 Yoda, 1 Rose, because that's 3 points.
You could go Ayla Riken mill.
What?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I hate you. Also,
yeah, no.
Firefly versus Solo. That's a thing. We're going to talk about that.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh.
You saw Firefly, right?
Oh yeah, because Rick
there
wasn't
you
here. We need to have that discussion. Because you threw a curveball. You done goofed, Aaron. Anywho.
I mean, it's just, I don't think it's worth it. In the grand scheme of what plots are supposed to be, barring any busted characters that come out that allow you to have 2 good characters, 4 dice, good health, and still be able to fit a 3-point plot. In Hero Red, which has been, since the game came out, held back for some
that is really
reason.
Frustrating because a lot of people want to play Hero Red, and It's a Trap was just too good. And the biggest problem with It's a Trap was it completely diminished the design space for Hero Red. It was basically, we got to make sure Hero Red has multiple small variables for damage. You can't have 2s and 3s because if they get 2 upgrades with 3 damage and they go It's a Trap, you're just swinging in for too much damage and you're not spending enough resources, and it's just too inefficient. So Red has always been plagued with 1s and 2s. Even after It's a Trap got the ban hammer, it was like, all right, come on Hero Red, let's see some good stuff. And I can't tell if they're afraid of it or what. Now the other problem is, we also know this from talking to Lucas, they designed these sets way in the future. So potentially this was designed before they had the Nerf bat taken to It's a Trap's knees. So it's not even good with It's a Trap though.
I
know, but they might have been afraid.
It's not good.
It would be good though.
It would have been good.
It would have been good.
This?
Yeah.
How?
Because you could flip all your stuff around.
It's a trap. Flip your dice around and then increase them when you resolve them with your ambush action. I'll take that.
Increase 1.
Okay.
and then I take the battlefield with Rex and I like wipe all your stuff. Like, you know,
What battlefield wipes all my stuff?
I have the battlefield, so I play defensive position.
No,
and
because
get rid of all your
activate.
2+.
So
No,
Rex
no.
gives you an ambush action?
No, well, you can't. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm just saying, like this, you rolled out Rex, so Rex gives you has the range side that now you get to. It's a trap into. You see what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
you wouldn't
Like, I have the
use a
battlefield
long-term
now.
plan with It's a Trap.
Exactly. This isn't good with It's a Trap. Like, I can
No.
only see this being good with focus. Like, that is the only thing I can see this being good with.
Resources are legit.
No, screw that. Like, play if you want resources and you want to
Riken
spend
Yoda.
3 points on a plot. Play profitable connections and get them when they matter.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Profitable Connections is better for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is good with focus.
I'm going to make 1 die Riken, 2 die Yoda. And
You
make
do
cry.
that. You make me cry.
That will never.
And for
I'm a
those-
mill player, and I don't even believe in that plan.
Me either, but I'm going to try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, good luck with that. Tell Minion, he'll figure it out.
He probably already has it.
Yeah, he's proxying long-term plan and Riken. It's 1 Riken, 2 Yoda.
My long-term plan is to not play long-term plan. Ever.
That's this week's quote.
Boy,
And it's
oh
an
boy.
uncommon. It's an uncommon.
Okay.
That means it's taking up a spot.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm pretty sure most plots are uncommon. There's common plots, but the good
Yeah,
ones
well,
are uncommon.
Tell you what, in
Quote, unquote.
draft, you might actually play this.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
maybe. This is not a bad plot in draft.
Well, I mean, and that's the other design space we got to look at, too. It's not necessarily just constructed this is going to be playable in.
Trilogies.
I mean, sure.
But think about it. In draft games go much, much longer. And if you can get, a couple extra shields or damage or resources, that's really good.
Yeah, I play this in draft. That's my long-term plan is to only play long-term plan in draft. Edit the original statement.
What?
I
No,
don't like
no.
that one nowhere near. The other one was much better.
Do you think some of these cards are being printed with more focus on a specific format? Or
I'm sure that they are printing cards that are designed for draft. Like,
Well, and multiplayer, right? Like, I mean, there's some cards that are designed that
yeah, they don't do that too much, though.
But there are cards that fit better in multiplayer than in.
Yeah,
So, I mean, so there's other avenues of where these things might line up.
this might be better in multiplayer. Like,
well, I mean,
they're-
this weekend, a new set for Magic came out called Battle Bond, and I played in the preview event with a friend, and it's exclusively designed for Two-Headed Giant, but there's a bunch of cards designed for Commander. Like, none of them are good for Standard. Some of them are reprints for Modern, but, that did make me kind of relook at some of these cards because I didn't think long-term plan was going to be super competitive in Standard. There might be 1 or 2 decks that are able to fit it in and figure it out, but this card and Rex seem to be way, way more playable in a sealed or draft environment as opposed to a constructed environment.
Agreed.
yeah.
I'm not saying
But
they're amazing,
there-
but
there's never a situation where I'm building a deck and I'm like, ooh, I got 3 points left over. Let me throw in a plot, right?
Right. Right.
You always are building around these plots. That's a constant decision you make when you sit down and you figure out what characters you want to play.
Yeah, but with constructed, you're initially starting your build trying to get 4 dice or even 5 dice out of your characters, and then if you have extra points, you throw in a plot, not the other way around where it's like you start with this
Exactly.
plot and go, all right, here's 3 points. How do I figure out the rest of the team? Because the thing is, your character with that extra die can win you the game, but your plot, unless they do something crazy, your plot can't win you the game.
Well,
Unless you have a
profitable-
long-term plan.
Profitable connections can win you the game because you get to be a turn ahead of your
I
opponent.
guess that's true. What I'm saying is the plot can't just sit there as a character with a health pool and dice to roll.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, until they make plots with
oh my
dice.
gosh, if they do that, that would be insane. That would be cool. Ooh,
Completely invalidate.
yeah, that
whole
would kind of
thing.
invalidate the point of a plot. I mean, that's that.
I'm not going to put it past them.
That's an interesting design space. I didn't actually think about that. It would be like a permanent equipment you just start the game with. That's so
Like a
that's so
droid.
dumb, but so
a
interesting.
mouse droid.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if you had some kind of a C3PO utility droid where it just rolls non-damage sides. Oh, that would be weird. Now my brain is like running through. Anyways, when I saw this, I really wanted it to be good. And then I saw the point cost, and then I tried to figure out decks, and it doesn't work in the current meta, in the current space that we have. It is possible, because we don't know the whole set, that this will find a place, because like Todd was saying, there's only 15 or 18 cards out of the set. And on the front end, with no more information, this card looks kind of rough. The effect, like, by no means, the effect is amazing. The problem is the point cost. So if we start to see cheaper characters or undercosted characters, this could find a place in sealed, constructed. Like, we could find this trilogies deck where it's like long-term plan. First round, put a resource. Second round, put a resource. Third round, you start getting 3 damage, 3 resources, 3 focus, 3 shields. Like, just create 3 discard, 3 disrupt. Like, 3 of anything is really good. The question is this plot worth building up to turn 3 to get some value out of it? Right now, I don't know. Game's pretty fast as it is. By turn 3, someone's pretty close to winning or having some kind of advantage that's noticeable. And I don't think long-term plan can swing that advantage fast enough.
Here's what you do. You have a red character that costs 26 or more points, right? But not more than 27.
So red Palpatine.
Oh, no, can't do it because Darksaber is yellow.
You could do Sabine Rebel Trooper.
Hey, that's a thing right
One
now.
die.
Oh, no.
One die.
One die? No.
Yeah, you wanna somehow, what is Darksaber was like 20 points? They get a +2?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it.
Feels bad.
That's how you break that card. You somehow get a 20-point yellow and red character.
So you're going to have to run a Jawa.
No, you just run you gotta have a red character and a yellow character. So you just get a 20-point
cheat
red character.
It's got to be hero.
And Jar Jar. And then you put a Darksaber on her. And that's your deck, right? You get to turn 3, and then you're resolving for 7 melee every turn.
All right, I think we got a deck.
Or 6 focus.
So we're saying Finn Jar Jar? That's a new deck?
Oh no, Finn's got to be 20 points. That's the key
point,
right? Step into my office because you're fired, right?
Yeah, but I can run 4 die there.
It's not 5-minute ads. It's 6-minute.
Getting
ads.
on my level.
So you just resolve it for 1 less. Just resolve it for 1 less.
7 melee on 1 die. That's pretty good. That's a long-term plan I can get behind right there.
All right, you get on that.
All right, I'm going to do it. At that point, I still think I play the other plot, the blue one that gives you a resource every time you play it. But
make sure you get the Darksaber out.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're not doing anything for the first 2 turns except for activating the plot.
Yeah, but built to last
Maybe
costs
roll
4
in
points,
a couple
bro.
times.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, then way to bust it. See, they tested that. That's what it is. See, built to last obviously was 3 points.
See, this is why you're not a playtester.
Brought the Darksaber into the mix. Are we done with these spoilers?
Ouch.
I'm gonna build that deck.
Okay.
All right, I want to see it.
Yeah.
Need a 20-point red hero character.
You could just write on Rex, just Sharpie in, turn it to 20. Oh, Poe 1, great.
There we go.
With a Darksaber?
Because then I could just discard the Darksaber whenever I want.
Yeah.
I could play 2 Darksabers.
It'd be nuts.
Yeah, because I can have a Darksaber out on Poe and still triggered.
No, it's attached character.
And you can run Throne Room.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah.
you don't get the +2 if it's not
Done.
attached.
We done busted the game. Busted the game. Poe Jar Jar.
Poe Jar Jar, built to last.
No, not built to last.
Or no,
Long-term plan.
Long-term plan. Throne Room.
Darksaber.
2
of them.
Yep.
1 to roll in.
Yep.
1 to Poe out.
Yep.
That's
So,
does that work?
Are you going to call this deck parkour?
Oh yeah, definitely.
From
Let's see.
from The Office, that episode where they're all just running around screaming parkour and jumping around. Parkour.
Yeah, you get to increase it by no,
I said it's attached. It's got to be attached.
It's got to be attached. So yeah, I mean you're getting 10 melee, right? Once. And then you cheat to get the Darksaber back in your hand so you can do it again.
Or we could Starship Graveyard.
Ooh, but then you're not throne rooming.
No.
I think the throne room is obviously better.
We should probably put in an Ascension gun.
Man, long-term plan is awesome.
So we put in an Ascension gun.
Oh yeah. Now you're talking. Now you're cooking with gas.
Oh.
I'm going to build this deck. I need to dust off my foes.
Oh no.
And your ascension guns.
I need to get some dark
All
sabers.
400 of them.
No, two.
Everyone's got
Just two.
ascension guns.
Two's the magic. I got plenty of ascension guns.
I might have more of those as coasters and Jar
Just give
Jar.
them away to people. Here, take the ascension gun. It's going to be a huge, huge card with Way of the Force.
Hey, you might want to let Zion there so you can put that with his quad jumpers.
Yeah, give him the inside scoop. Ascension gun. It's going to be big, bro. Buy them all. Cool Stuff Inc.
All right. I'm taking this deck to a store championship if we.
No, you're not. If you do, I will. I don't even know what I'll do.
I'll have photographs on it.
Yeah, I'll
to
buy you a
access
beer.
games.
Dude, I'm gonna sit across from someone and they're gonna be like, "What the Utini is this?"
What the teeny
I was
is
like,
this?
"Obviously, you don't listen to the show."
Told you about it months ago.
Yeah,
We talked about
Told you
this
this
in
was a
June.
thing.
Come on, it's happening.
I gotta win a store championship first, though.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that preface.
Yep.
So it probably won't ever happen.
Oh, okay. That's the thing.
Yeah. If there's one last store championship, this is what I'm gonna play.
We'll just fly you out to throw out the secret tech.
Dude, I'm gonna hit somebody in the face with 7 with a dark saber.
7 damage with a dark saber,
It's gonna happen.
and they're not going to remove it. They're just going to take it for the sake of taking. Tell people I took 7 to the face with 1 die.
Yeah, most likely it's gonna be 5 discard. That's a new One Punch Vader right there.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, you know that's
'Cause you
going to
can
happen.
fast. No, you can't fast hands.
I wish you could.
You could put this on a yellow character with a red support character.
There you go. There you go.
Hooray?
What was Bo Katan again?
No, Zed.
No. You bring
Zeb.
Akbar.
That's
Snack
not
bar.
20. You got to be 20.
Oh, yeah, it's got
It's a magic number.
Oh, it's got to be 20. Nah, there's
Bo
no.
Katan, 7 cost red character. We got to get one.
7 cost red character.
Doesn't even have to be hero.
Battle droid.
Rebel battle droid.
Rebel battle droid. There we go.
What's the Gungan? Isn't there a Gungan? He's 6.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
he's 6. Oh no.
Now you got a deck
Bo-Katan
made.
Gungan, the mill deck. 1 punch mill deck.
Yeah, and the Gungan's got a 1 melee.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah.
Boom. Don't even care if he's got blanks. He never gets activated. He's going to be taking one for the team.
You give him Guardian. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
soaks all the damage.
He's going to Guardian all those 6 points a day.
So what about the Gungan deck? You just nix a Gungan. Throw him with the Gungan.
With
High
a
Lord.
long-term plan so you can make your blanks, resolve your blanks.
Resolve your blanks for...
Blanks
Yeah.
for 3. 3 times 0 is still 0.
Can't even resolve blanks. They are unresolvable.
Yeah, I know. That's the
That's
joke.
the joke.
Oh, well.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
Oh, man. I got to get some Bo Katarns. I didn't even like her. Now I do.
Oh, dude, if you do it with the red, you get to run it with the Z6 one or two.
Oh, because it's villain. Deck builds itself.
And then you can transfer it to your Gungan.
Yeah, when she eventually dies before turn 3.
Yep.
That would be
got 12
hilarious. Your
hit points.
Gungans are swinging.
She got shield side. What's our special do again?
She does like something stupid.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Are you talking about
the
Bo-Katan?
yellow villain upgrades. So you're going to have to throw Vibro Knuckles on her.
yeah, 1 punch bow.
1 punch bow.
Oh, man. Dude, the bruise.
Oh, this is bad.
The bruise.
This is so bad.
I'm loving it.
The bruise are real.
Can this set come out? That'd be cool.
Oh, don't even bring that up. Oh my gosh. Ugh. That's a point of contention.
Well, I mean, if you're bored, there's always other things you can play.
Oh, like Legion?
No, like segue into...
Oh yeah.
Wow, way to drop the ball, Suggy.
I didn't drop the ball. I knew what you were doing. I just didn't like how you were doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back.
Or yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Backpedaling?
No, I don't do that. I stand by what I say.
So how about that tournament?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about Total Access Games event.
Yeah, so Saturday we ran we called it the Duel of Fates. We lifted all of the balance of the force point adjustments. We got rid of all erratas. And we lifted the overwrite roll.
Just the override roll?
Just the overwrite roll.
Because FN wasn't busted enough.
Because we wanted to make sure FN had his day. So yeah, we had 16 people sign up. We had some crazy weather issues and some other stuff going on. So 4 guys didn't get to show up. So we ended up with 12. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad they have the balance of the force and the erratas. And a side note, we had a lot of people talking afterwards. They were like, yeah, it seems like we got a lot of stuff right with that. because it's really busted. We had 3 Thrawn cars show up. We had a Pomaz show up. We had a Kylo FN. We had a Jyn Erso Ezra deck that had the ammo belt second chance loop. We had, what else did we have? We had a Yoda Riken show.
You had a Vader Raider.
Had a Vader Raider. Which was a variant of the One Punch Vader. I put together a Poe Ayla, so Poe 1 and Ayla, variant of the old Poe Ray deck. And we had James Chang came down and played a 4-wide FN deck. It was FN, Dark Advisor, Battle Droid, Jawa. So there was some crazy jank, and there was some of the classics that you expected to see with some super upgrades and better dice mitigation. In the end, the top 4 ended up being 3 Thrawn Uncars and Kylo FN.
No!
Yeah, Kylo FN made it to the top 4 and actually stomped Thrawn Car all day.
Oh.
I think he went through 5 of them, because he got paired against 2 of them in the Swiss, and then he went through 2 more in the top 4. So it was a brutal day for Thrawn Car against Kylo Vader, or Kylo FN.
Yeah, but Thrawn Car had 100% representation in the top 4 of the people that brought Thrawn Car.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like so when you go back and you look at it of why they balanced
Uncard. It made perfect sense.
You know.
So I mean, and I didn't actually get to play because we had an even number, so I didn't want to make somebody take a bye, so I sat out. But our buddy James got tickets to the Caps in the Stanley Cup halfway through the day, so he bounced after 3 rounds. So I took his spot and got to play the Poe Ayla, and that deck's stupid good. It's really good. Her ability to special chain with Poe is pretty nasty, and then you have Force Wave and other things that you can throw in there as well. It was a fun day. I got to take on a Pomaz, and I think I got to take on an FN, one of the FN decks, and I took both of those down, but that was the end of my day. But it was a lot of fun. Congrats to Dylan. He got a box of Way of the Force. Not yet, of course, but when it comes out, he'll get it.
Yeah, holding out on us, I see.
Yeah. And then James Self came in second and got a set of the battle droids from Worlds.
So something I wanted to pick your brain on, because when you took everything away and you just let the game play out with 0 restrictions, and you said most everyone agreed that it was a good thing that they have all of these new rules in place, the balance of the Force, the erratas. Did you figure anything else out from that experience? Like, because I feel like playing that is fun, but it also puts the current meta into perspective, because some of those decks can be really degenerate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Thrawn Car was still around, it would still be dominant. Like we had that conversation after the fact, and it was pretty much a universal agreement that Thrawn Car is busted, and it's way busted, especially with some of the variants that we had been toying around with, where they're using the Crime Lord in it, the Ace in the Hole Crime Lord, to snipe out the big character and then just burn you down. That was what a lot of them were doing, and even the win against I think the Kylo FN, no, it was the other FN deck, because we had a FN Uncard Trooper as well. That one FN got Crime Lorded, I think turn 1, and then it was just a regular Thrawn Uncard mauling. But like, that deck is really, really good, and it would be probably really, really good still. The ability to get in your opponent's hand and be able to pick it apart and build your resource pool and do all of those things that deck can do is just so good.
Yeah, I mean, without the override rule, do you think it still would have Dylan would have won with FN?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think Thrawn Car would have taken it.
Yeah, because that's one of the things we were talking about, is like when you came up with the idea to do this tournament, was to take into account any rules changes that have happened since then too. And again, eventually it was decided to allow the overwrite because that was directly because of trying to fix a character. Right?
Yeah. Well, we also ran into some really interesting issues. Like one of the guys got smart and thought to tech in lure for FN decks.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is he ended up going up against the Thrawn Car deck.
Oh, no.
And the guy had fast hands and blackmail on his character that he hit with a lure.
Oh, no.
So then all of a sudden you end up with all these timing issues about resolving dice, and he's got an ambush action and everything else. And I said the rule coming in that we stated was the cards are played as printed. So when he made him activate his uncar, he got to go about his business of resolving all of his dice. Because the cards state when you activate this character, you know, you can resolve a die.
Yeah.
So, and then he got his ambush action afterwards.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So back to the old Django tricks.
Yeah, yeah. And there was a Django FN in there too. So
Really?
yeah.
Interesting.
That's actually what I ran into. That's the one I ran into was the Django FN after the Pomaz match.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't come.
It was fun, dude.
Yeah. Like,
It was a lot of fun, and it was one of those things where you're like, God, I'm glad that's over.
I'm surprised that, you know, when I got in here today that all the tables weren't already pre-flipped.
Yeah, it was going really well, and then round 4, they're like, all right, you get to play, and I was like, oh, so now the tables get flipped.
Yeah.
Because now I gotta play Pomaz. Yeah.
Can't kick Todd out of his shop. He can flip a table if he wants to.
That's right.
Now, I mean, people had fun with it.
Yeah,
obviously, but they knew coming in what was going to, like, this wasn't just roll up into your local game store and say, hey, guys, this time we're going to do this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this was broadcasted that, you know,
yeah, and like
busted stuff was going to happen.
And everybody knew it, and everybody brought what, you know, if they didn't have it busted as soon as they got here, they're like, all right, how broken can I make this? And here, let's do these things.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a couple tweaks we made because people forgot about the Vibro knife rule. Like, and they're like, oh God, I forgot to put that in. Oh, my force illusion is worthless. Let me put in something else. Like, that kind of stuff happened.
Yeah.
That's a funny realization when you're like, oh no.
Yeah, caution's not where the card slot right now. Like, that was kind of the stuff that was going on.
Yeah, this is why this card wasn't played at all until, you know, lately. All right.
So yeah, it was some funny. Like when I built my deck, I was like, all right, well, caution and force illusion, just throw that out.
Yeah, these are
GG.
But it was a lot of fun, man. And I think everybody had a good time with it. And Minion played Thrawn Unkar.
He wasn't the one that played Rankin Mill?
Huh?
He wasn't the one that played Rankin Yoda?
No, that was Andrew from North Carolina brought that up here. But it was interesting because Minion also had a Ahsoka double outer rim smuggler.
Oh, no.
And we played afterwards just for fun, and that's the only game I lost.
Oh, my gosh. Ahsoka Outer Rim, that's brutal.
Yeah, so, like, it turns out when you go infinite with the smugglers... And you put a Master of the Council on Ahsoka.
Oh!
And the Vibro Cutlass. She's pretty good activating 3 times a turn.
Yeah, I believe it.
So that
it doesn't matter if the rest of her text doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pay resources to equal the number of dice that you rolled in.
Yeah, I have money for this Vibro Cutlass all day long.
Yeah.
I got the money for the master.
Yeah, it's cool. She's not yellow. It's cool.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
I have a fictitious number of resources.
Yeah. So we had this conversation where he's like, so can we agree that I've gone infinite? No, count them.
Yeah.
No, yeah. In Magic Rules, you have to declare a number.
I'm going to need to see official FFG tokens for each resource that you have in your pool.
1 million billion. All right. How many tokens you got? Oh, no.
No, I only brought 6.
Right.
All right. Guess you're going to have to quote unquote go off again.
Oh, man. You guys. Well, I mean, I'm really glad that you had a great event. It sounds like it was a good community event. And also, you know, putting things into perspective, because sometimes it's easy to look at where you are and go, you know, I wish things were different. I wish Thronkar was a thing. I truly do. But I know.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, let me finish my statement. I know for a fact it would be completely degenerate. I'm 100% aware that Thronkar is not fair. It's not fun. It just basically locks you out of playing the game. And that's not something we want for any game. Like on a casual, fun, haha event, like what you did, sure. Because, you know, if FN's allowed and Pomaz and all that stuff, everyone has access to equally unfair stuff. But if you just throw Thronkar into the meta right now, there isn't anything nearly as broken as that deck. So it's not fair. It's not fun. And the game just kind of falls apart. So I think it's good. I think it's good that you were able to have some fun and then kind of say, hey, the game's in a good place where it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what everybody walked out of there with. We all had a good time with it. We'll probably do it again sometime. When we get bored and like after Way of the Force comes out and we've played that for 6 months and we're waiting on the next set, maybe we'll see how broken it gets with that stuff thrown in. But I mean,
I want you to do a tournament where you can mix and match all cards, but constructed.
Oh, you mean like a gray tourney?
Is that? Well, I mean,
we have a guy who runs a shop up in Northern Virginia who ran one today. Yeah, and they called it. I think he called it the Gray Tournament because you can mix hero and villain.
Yeah, that's the format I really want to know how crazy that is. Just because if you can like pick and choose the best cards from hero and villain, I feel like that would be a really really funky tournament. I don't think it'd be as broken as what you played, but I think like the options that you have would be significantly more diverse.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely interested. I have a couple guys that went up there to play in that as well, so I'm looking forward to talking to them sometime this week and finding out how that went and what all they saw and how crazy it got. So they asked me if I had any any inclination as to if I was going to run something like that, and I said, let me know how it goes. Maybe if you guys have fun, we might be able to throw something together like that.
Yeah, I mean, with this card pool, you'd have to have some time to figure out what the heck you would bring to that.
Well, I mean, like, that's the thrill of it is if you just open the floodgates and say, hey, you can play whatever you want. You have color restrictions, like you can't play a blue card if you don't have a blue character. But if you're running yellow and red, you can do yellow and red hero, villain, neutral. Like, oh, man. I mean, for a mill player, like, there's a lot of things I would love to do with, like, Jabba and Yoda. Holy cow, that would be so much fun.
Sabine Ezra gets even worse.
Does it?
Yeah, but it's still just Sabine Ezra with access to more ambush weapons.
I mean, Sabine Ezra is still Sabine Ezra. It's a nasty deck.
Yeah, you get 2 extra ambush weapons, right?
You could do
but you also get like good removal too.
Yeah, you get better removal. Like he doesn't like you and
Yeah, I guess the moral of the story is that 2 negative play experiences make a positive play experience.
Right.
So as long as everybody's playing NPE, it's PPE.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see Yoda with a Force Rend. I feel like that's going to wreck everybody.
Force Rend?
Yeah, Yoda and a Force Rend. I'm going to autocorrect, gain a resource, and blow up.
Ew.
Yeah, you don't get nothing.
None of it is yours.
I would love to see a blackmail with hero. Oh, so good.
You could do that with Sabine Ezra.
Yeah. No?
But, you know, in Jeremy we trust.
Or Crime Lord with Yoda. Oh, Lord, that would be insane. You're just like, all right, flip. You're dead. Let's wrap this thing up. But before we do, we have some discussions to talk about with a couple GQ things and Euros. So congratulations to Mods, who won in Europe this weekend with Rayla. And I believe they said... Your Destiny guys said there were 219 players in that tournament. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 220, 219. So there was a pretty significant turnout, which is good. There was a really wide swath of decks that showed up. In fact, I was really happy. Obviously, a mill deck made it into the top cut. I'm pretty sure that deck made it to top 16. I could be mistaken, but I'm not sure. No, wait. I think it was top 4, actually. I think it played Boba's sister in top 4.
Get your facts right, Sugi.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not...
Do your research.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure, fine. I know it made it into the top 16.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be the best player in Europe right now.
That is not how that works.
What? It doesn't?
No.
It doesn't work that way?
You beat a good player once. In a tournament, you can't then forever say every time he wins something that you by relation won that tournament.
Are you sure I can't say that?
No, because if you would have gone there, you would have got like melanoma or whatever you got while you were at Worlds. And melanoma, that's not a disease, but whatever you had to get you to where you were just brain dead.
Claiming blue in a mono yellow deck.
Yeah. Mods did lose in Swiss, so there's somebody else in Europe that has beat him. So
Awesome.
you can't call that.
Well, whoever that person is, please contact Knights of Ren. We need to play off.
Oh, I need a playoff. Got a King of the Mountain. Yeah. Let's just go to whatever the Nordics. Let's do it.
We should go.
Let's go. Let's get our passports.
Yeah, no, but congrats to Mods, man. Awesome guy, awesome player. The dude makes sound decisions all day, every day. He is a great player. And his regiment that he goes through with the carrots and all is phenomenal.
And all.
Oh yeah, that's the secret sauce is carrots.
It's definitely the carrots. And always being ready for a hike.
Yes.
Yep.
Always have your hiking equipment with you because you never know.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that discussion. All right, so I've got it pulled up.
And what's his name? What's the Klaus? Klaus, yeah, running a tournament with more people at any one day at Worlds more effectively than Worlds was run. Good shout out to Klaus there.
Yeah, good shout out to the Your Destiny crew. They did it well.
And 3-man meta for getting the stream on there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, shout outs to 3-man. Those two teams work together really well to help bring a lot of information. We have, from the Your Destiny page, the top 32 decks, not in any specific order. They just had the number of decks. So there were 2 Bala Talzin First Order Trooper, 2 Drive-By Shooting, 1 Yoda Ezra Rookie, which was not the same as the aggro version, 4 Boba 7th, 4 Obi Maz, 4 Kylo Anakin, 4 Rayla, 1 Rose Wedge Hired Gun, 2 Sabine Ezra, 2 Yoda Hondo, 2 Thrawn Talzin, 1 Qui-Gon Jinn Ayla, 1 Zeb Yoda, 1 Naked Palpatine, way to go, and then 1 Yoda Jar Jar Jeddah. And the top 8, they had the Yoda Jar Jar Jeddah. So the mill deck made it at least that far. They also had the Rose Wedge Hired Gun. I don't think that's mill. Pretty sure that's damage.
I think that might be you said Wedge Rose?
Yeah, E-Rose.
Gotta be
1 Hired Gun, 1 Wedge.
Vehicle.
I would assume it's vehicles.
So it's probably, it's gotta be vehicles.
Wasn't there a guy playing it at the tournament we went to in Hampton? Was playing that?
That was a vehicle deck he was playing.
Yeah, was it Wedge, Rose?
Some kind of weird variant, yeah.
And then Texas had the DreamHack GQ, which, interestingly enough, DJ Stormtrooper, who's on our Discord, he took Friday and Saturday. And
2 tickets to Worlds.
Yeah. I am really unclear. There's no pass down, is there?
No.
So
and they can't quote unquote scoop.
Yeah. So it's just.
I think one of those days it was only 5-0. He won it at 5-0.
It was a 4-0.
Right? A 4-0, yeah.
4-0. So I believe they said 7 players showed up on Friday. So DJ Stormtrooper had gone 4-0 and everyone had taken a second loss. So he just automatically got 2 buys to get the 6-0 because there were no more opponents to play.
So note to self, if they ever have another GQ at this, what was it called again? DreamHack, go to DreamHack. Like that has got to be the no disrespect to the guys to the winners because winning both of them obviously are good, but 7-person field to get a guaranteed ticket to Worlds is pretty good odds.
Dude, hold my beer, I got this.
Yeah.
And then Thomas, I believe it's Aki is what he goes by. He took today with Boba 7th, so congratulations to him.
How many was that today? Do you know?
I think he said it was 16 today.
Good Lord.
So now, just to qualify, though, DreamHack is a PC gaming convention in Austin, Texas. And from what I understand, I think Cascade announced the GQ like a month ago, so it wasn't like super well advertised. And the other problem with that is I'm pretty sure DreamHack has tickets similar to a con, and I'm not entirely sure if the general public can just show up and play Destiny. You might have to purchase a ticket to get in. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like a GQ happened, it wasn't announced really early, and if you didn't have a ticket, you might have just been unable to go because of the way the thing was scheduled. I don't know for sure. I'd have to do some research on DreamHack just because I don't know how the general public stuff works. I know like you can get tickets to bring your own PC and to participate in tournaments and gaming events and things like that. But congratulations to all those people who are playing. There's still a lot more GQs coming up, and hopefully we're going to get some more Way of the Force information because FFG has been on X-Wing 2.0 like crazy, which is fine because that's their big Gen Con release. And eventually here we should be seeing something hopefully in the next month for Way of the Force where we have a solid release date and we can start prepping for pre-release events and getting ready
Store
to
championships.
Yeah, store championships and just kind of revitalize the meta with all these new cards. Because let's be honest, Old Man Luke, he is looking pretty good right now.
Not as good as Bo-Katan, long game or long-term plan.
Gungan.
Darksaber, boom, done. Deck's built.
Yeah,
Pretty
team
sure that's a winner.
parkour, just run.
That's meta right there.
Hyper meta,
Heard it here first.
all the parkour.
Hyperloops ain't got nothing on us.
No, we can bust decks too. See, they break good cards. We break bad cards.
Yeah.
Break bad cards. Yeah,
I got
that's our
this.
claim to fame. Terra bad cards. Is this card bad? We'll make it even worse. Don't even worry about it.
4 dice starts. Let's do 3.
Let's do 2. Why not?
I'm bringing it back old school, Awakening style. Just 20-point character. Just a 20-point character. I don't even care if I had 12 hit points and no way to mitigate or gain more life. You give me 3 turns,
It's on.
and I'll do 7 damage.
Get it.
That hurt.
Yeah, it hurts to try and make bad decks worse somehow. I don't even know. But that is the end of the show. Thank you to everyone who joined us. A big thank you to our newest Patreons, Lake and Mark. Thank you so much for helping support the show. You're awesome, and we appreciate your help. Everyone, we are getting out of here. We are so excited for all the cool, crazy stuff that's going to be happening this upcoming week with Star Wars Destiny and just gaming in general. There's a lot of really cool things going on, and we'll be back next time. So thanks for joining us. May the Force be with you.
Great job out there. May the Force be with you, always.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and join us on all of our social media outlets. And a big thank you to all of our Patreons for your support. We can't do this without your help, so make sure to join us for all of our exclusive Knights of Ren content.